I want to welcome everyone to the official last video in the original home of Samcraft, aka this workshop. Hey everyone, my name is Sam and welcome back to Samcraft. If it could still be called my workshop, we are still here. This is the last video, but first I want to take some time to catch you guys up with all the various clips here and there that I've shot as far as destroying, disassembling, and bringing us to such a lowly state that we currently find ourselves in. And we are now back current in this building. I don't even want to call it my workshop anymore. It's just a building that some stuff is still in until it's no longer in here. So as you guys saw, there's been a random clips here and there. I shot small things here and there, just kind of showing steps of taking things apart. Nothing awesome, nothing magnanimous, but I at least wanted to film something as I did things to share with you guys. Remember the shop? I don't know. It's kind of what I do. At this point, I'm down to just one U-Haul enclosed trailer rental to clean all of this stuff out, put it into the storage unit, which is where everything else that's missing is currently, and then we can move from the storage unit into the new workshop as soon as it's time. I don't anticipate the point of cleaning this out and putting in the new workshop to be very long between those actions, but having the storage unit has been a wonderful sanity saver as we kind of wrangle our heads around the whole stair step and move of transplanting ourselves overall. The details of our move and everything of the sort is more outlined on our family channel. It's another YouTube channel, and there's a link to that in the description of all of the Samcraft videos. I'm not saying you have to go there. I'm not pushing you guys there. I'm just letting you know, if you are curious, that's the place to check out things going on as far as house move, land developments, and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, if you're here for me in Samcraft, stay put. The party's going to continue. It don't stop just with this building. Speaking of the party not stopping with this building, Sam, what in the world's going on with your new building? What happened? The last thing we saw, you were painting and you fell off the face of the earth. Well, in reality, the last thing I did was paint, and then we got distracted doing other things with our property. We had a greenhouse we built, we were working on our actual house construction move and all that stuff, and honestly that workshop build has not changed at all. Well, I showed the brackets, didn't I? Don't worry, I have all the materials and everything to trim it out, to put the metal roof on, and everything like that will be happening, I hope, very soon. It's just at the point where it is a dry shell, it is weatherproof, and other things have come up that have to be addressed and done that just take precedence over things right now. Rest assured, when the day arrives that I'm able to work on my workshop again, I will bring you guys along. You're not going to miss out. I'm not hiding content from anyone, promise. I'm just not doing it yet either, which is a bummer, but hey, that's reality. I had to open that door to get some amount of light in here. It's too dark, and I'm tired of hanging out over those windows. So now we're at the doorway, and we've got a very dramatic shot. Spill light coming in, lighting the subject, and the background is darker. Wow, amazing. So at this point, I think what would be cool to do is a one last 360 of this mess of a workshop. I'll plop you guys here in the middle of the shop where the table saw and workbench used to be. Let you kind of have a 360 view. We'll start over here at the storage side. So we turn around, you can see the corner where my hardwood lumber wall racks are gone. Don't worry, they're in storage. Everything's in storage, okay? Everything you don't see is in storage. It will come back again someday. Down on the floor there is all the hardwood. It's stored in a plastic storage tote, ready to be rolled out and hauled over. Same thing with my long clamps, my pipe clamps and stuff like that. On the stool is the Heat Storm garage electric heater. I plan on taking that over. However, it will not be used for either the foreseeable future or ever. So maybe I should try and sell that thing. The reason I say it won't be used is I'm going to be running the next workshop off of solar. It's going to be an off-grid workshop. That is partly by requisition. Man. That is partly out of necessity because we are going to be developing our property and being on there before we are allowed to have mains electrical from the utilities. It's a weird thing about construction. But there's also a big part of me that has always wanted to have an off-grid system, and while I don't have the stuff to run our house, I at least have the stuff, I'm pretty sure, to run my workshop and my wife's soap making studio as well. So we're going to go off-grid. It'll be a fun adventure. I hope it's a success. Hopefully it's not a wasted effort and I end up going on the grid. But either way, you guys know I'll bring you along for the success or the failure of the endeavor to take a woodworking shop, CNC laser engraver, completely off-grid. Okay, jumping back onto the subject, what we were doing before I squirreled off on the heater. Spinning on around, you can see the front door. I've got a gray toolbox here. That's my mechanics tools. It's pretty much here, ready to roll out the door. There is no organization to this workshop anymore. It's all gone. There is no method to this madness. It's just pure madness. And spinning around, the lathe is gone. That's all cleaned up. I will remove the light that is still up above where the lathe used to be. But otherwise, the little wooden French cleat strips, the old clamp rack, things like that, I'm just going to leave behind. I want to have a fresh, clean slate with the new workshop. And while that will be a little more ouch on the wallet, I think it's going to be a really fun thing to do and just have fresh creativity for it. As we spin on around, we are approached with what continues to be the shame of Samcraft, and that is the Shipoko CNC just sitting there, not being used, at least not being used as a CNC. It is currently holding all of my workshop lights, which are LED lights, although they look like fluorescent tubes. They're LED. They're all waiting to go, and you can see the start of the pile of insulation that I've been removing out of the ceiling. Speaking of the CNC, it is ready to go. I'm going to leave the CNC on its table. I did remove the drawers to make it lighter to be able to move and put on the trailer, but it's going to stay like that for the ride. I'm going to be renting an enclosed trailer from U-Haul, so I don't have to worry about this thing getting blasted with elements, bird poop, rain, rogue wind, or whatever else things are hit with on the road. It's not going to slide anywhere, and as long as I attach the table to the anchor kind of ratchet points inside the trailer, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I did not want to go through the hassle of trying to disassemble the CNC or take the gantry off and everything of the sort just to really put it right back on. So, I don't know. We'll see. Stick around to see if it's a failure. Stick around to see if it's a success, I guess. But, yeah, CNC's going over as is. Right behind the CNC is the Jimitsu Jinsoku LE-1620 laser engraver. That guy's still going. I've had it here in the workshop. In the event I decide to move the Otora into storage and need the LE-1620 from my small business. I haven't done that yet. I don't think I will, but that's the whole reason the guy is still over here on the wall and kind of may seem odd to have it there when everything else is gone. It's just me and my weirdness of, I want to make sure I at least have this stuff here to continue my small business as I need it, while I destroy everything else around said small business. Spinning on around to the back wall, as you can see, all of the tool wall bits and bobbins are gone. They're all packed up and all that in storage. And what I'm left with is the Atour in its enclosure, sitting on this old dresser piece of furniture. The dresser is staying here. I'm not going to take it to the new shop. I never really liked how it worked out here. It was free, so I'm going to leave it and let it be free for someone else. They can use it or whatever they want to with it. But I'm just not going to take it into the new shop. Next to the dresser, you'll see a combination of the wall cabinets and the little small workbench wall shelf thing that I built. Those are all going to stay here. I don't think that they're going to really be useful in their current states in my new workshop. Plus, it's a lot of bulk, a lot of hassle to take it apart, store it, haul it over, reassemble it, to where honestly I just think I'll be better off doing something new with the new shop and let this just stay here and leave it behind. It was all made with reclaimed recycled materials anyway, so I'm not out a ton of money. Yes, those same materials would be expensive nowadays, or at least more money, but again, thinking with fuel prices, my personal time, how much time I have left to get the stuff done before we're no longer on this property, it's fine to stay. And so that rounds out the 360 of Samcraft. Well, okay, what used to be Samcraft. For the time being, Samcraft will be a vagabond, I guess. I don't know, homeless. I don't have a workshop. I have this shell. I have the next one I'm still building. It's got some stuff in there, but it's still kind of a shell. And then we have a storage unit, which, you know, is nothing but storage. So, yeah. Okay guys, I have yacked and yammered long enough. I'm surprised if you're still here, that you are still here. If you are, thank you. You must truly be interested in whatever the world's going on, or you're at work just killing time. Regardless, I do appreciate it. So this will be it. This is the last video of the original home of Samcraft. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave them down below. I'll try and get to them. If you have any content ideas that doesn't require a workshop, shoot them to me. I don't know what I'm going to be doing content-wise until I get up and into the next shop. It might be 2 weeks, it might be 4 weeks, and I don't know, it might be 8 weeks. I hate the thought of that, but it is what it is. Either way, I appreciate you guys watching as always. If you have any questions or comments, leave them for me down below. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you guys next time, not in this workshop.